Hi, I'm Adam Steele, and I've been a producer and mix engineer for nearly 20 years now. And I've got news for a lot of you guys. YouTube tutorials will not make you a great mixer. Now, it's a bit of a headline title, but it is relevant to what I'm about to talk about, which is that context is everything. In a very recent video, I talked about how interning in studios isn't really a thing anymore, and instead you can watch YouTube videos and tutorials and paid courses and all that kind of stuff, and that will get you most of what being an intern at a studio would have got you in the past. But when I say that YouTube tutorials will not make you great, that sounds hypocritical, doesn't it? On the surface, it kind of does, but bear with me while I elaborate. You see, real world experience is something that there is no substitute for. You can't just sit in your bedroom and track yourself making music you've just made up for 20 years and expect at the end of it to be like a Grammy-winning mix engineer. At least not in a vacuum. The thing that I said that was kind of the key in the intern video was about asking the right questions. Because you can watch a YouTube tutorial from someone like me or Warren Hewitt from Produce Like a Pro, Glenn Fricker, anybody that we know who is kind of well known in the YouTube audio community, and you can copy exactly what they did or what I did without necessarily understanding why you did what you did. And that's kind of the key, is that everything is about context. Learning new skills is amazing. Learning new tricks with new plugins, new hardware, new software, new keyboard shortcuts, new all sorts of stuff is amazing. But if you don't know why you are learning it and what times it's going to be important, you may as well have just been sticking your head in a bucket. So, where do we begin? I find that practice mixing is the absolute key here. I mean, traditionally what you would do is you would go to your friends and say, I'll record you for free. And you can still do that. That is a great way of learning the hard way, because you'll find that you put a microphone in the wrong place, or you'll find that kind of the singer's got a dynamic range that's way too big because they mumble and then they scream and blow the mic out. You'll learn a lot of that kind of stuff to put into the context of all the tutorials that you've been watching. But then what you can do now is there are like places where you can get loads of Multitracks, like the Produce Like a Pro Academy, or there's Nail the Mix, or there's loads of things like that where you can get these really good, really well recorded songs with all the Multitracks that might be in a genre that you like, importantly might not be in a genre that you're used to, not one that you would usually work in. And you might look at these Multitracks, listen to them back and go, I know these are not polished, these are not maybe compressed and EQ'd, but they sound really good. Why do they sound really good? And how do I get my recorded material to sound like that before mixing? And how did the mix engineer on that record get those Multitracks that sound like this to sound like the finished product? And then kind of following steps along with people like that and going, so that's what that compressor does. Okay, so that's why I shouldn't EQ this too much, etc., etc. And kind of opening your eyes through process will absolutely help you flourish. I, in a way, kind of got lucky that, at first I wasn't so lucky that I was mixing albums for friends out of my bedroom after my first recording studio kind of collapsed. And then Liam, who's my best friend, who's business partner here, and yeah, I was best man at his wedding, he was best man at my wedding. He got me back into studio recording, but we got like 100 vocal sessions and we got bands in that he brought in. We were recording all sorts of stuff that I was kind of unfamiliar with, and I really had to do a trial by fire, and I learned a lot in a short amount of time, because before YouTube you could like read Sound on Sound magazine and try and get all your tips and tricks off the paper, and I would try and apply what I read to the sessions, and sometimes it'd work, sometimes it wouldn't, and I really started to learn about the context of why some things didn't work and when they would work, who they would work for, like really bright, female R&B vocals, trying to transpose that same style to like a metal screaming vocalist, and seeing that it doesn't work means that learning this tip and trick that I found on YouTube does work, but not for that, but does for that. But why? And then working out from my personal preferences and the way that sound works in a way that is very difficult to teach. Okay, well, if I change it to this for this thing, but keep it for that thing, I've learned a whole new skill, which is transferring all these videos that I've been learning from, all this writing that I've been learning from, to new situations. That's made me appreciate every technique that I've learned, so that now I can get given multi-tracks for a song from the other side of the world, and very quickly I can go, that bass needs this drum needs this vocal needs this, and I'm not just going preset 1, preset 3, preset 7. I'm going, okay, well, I can hear that this vocal doesn't have that on, add some of that. I can hear that this bass has already been processed, etc, etc. And I'm using my listening skills based on the videos that I've seen and putting them into context. As a result, now I can put a mix together that I'm very happy with within 2 hours, and then give it a little break, come back and maybe spend another 30 minutes, 60 minutes on it, and I can consider that to be done. And I know through referencing on different speakers and that kind of thing that it sounds ready to ship. But YouTube videos alone would not have made me that good. I still watch YouTube videos and they are helpful. I still read material that is helpful, but doing things yourself and doing it the hard way on material that you didn't make yourself, so you had no control over, is really, really powerful. So check that out, and honestly, it will help you no end, because you'll learn things that you can then apply to your own work, if that was your original goal, or to mixing other bands, mixing, recording in your studio. So good luck. So there you are. I know this one was a bit of a around the houses statement, but thank you everybody for watching. I hope you found this one useful. Thanks to the patrons, as always, on Patreon for helping us to keep these lights on, and thank you everybody for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.